of the townhouse located at B33-3075 SKEENA Street as of today, March 24, 2022. So basically, it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom townhouse. It's 22-year-old. The listing price is $988. The square footage is 1,753 square feet. It has 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom. The PID number for this property, which is parcel identification number, is 019113412. I will explain how you can use this number later on, and as well as the legal description, which is the Strata lot number 24, the plan number LMS 1559. So these are two important numbers to remember too, Strata lot number 24. And it comes with double garage, and there is no separate locker. It's a fairly large unit, so there is no locker outside of the confinement of the unit. So, and this is the BC assessment of the unit, $828,000. The last transaction click that we see is at $417,000 in January 7, 2010, which again, it is reflected here. So for the price of $417,000. Moving on to the next document that we will review is the title. So title, this is the name of the two owners who are currently on the title. Presumably they are husband and wife because it's reflected as joint tenancy. This is the PID number, which is similar to social insurance number that you have. So basically, if you go to sites like BC Assessment or many other sites, as long as, like, it's, as I said, it's applicable the same as social insurance number. So the same way that no two individuals have the same social insurance number, there are no two properties in BC who have same PID number. So PID number is very unique to each property. So a lot of websites like property taxes or BC assessment, etc., if you give them the PID number, they already know what the address of the property is. The title, there is not much to the title. There is only one covenant, and that covenant is in the interest of the Crown of British Columbia. So, and it's also inter alia. Usually what we can recommend to the clients for buying existing house is that if it is a public entity, not a private entity, as the registered owner of the charge, and when you see the word inter alia, which means that's not only applicable to you, it's going to be applicable to other units too. The inter alia in Latin means among other things. So, but in the title, when it says inter alia, it means that this charge is not only on your title, it would be on the others. If you really are interested, you can ask your lawyer to order these documents. Sometimes it could be from few pages to hundreds of pages. And usually you have the legal expertise and sometimes engineering expertise to interpret these documents. Honestly, for buying a townhouse, existing townhouse, if it's something like that, if it was me purchasing for myself, I would feel comfortable just let it go. But as your realtor, if you ask, like, if I have to advise you, the only thing that I can say is that if you really want to review this thing, you can ask your lawyer to review this document with you. So the other one is the mortgage. This document, this charge will be removed. Your own mortgage will be coming here. So this item and these two items will be removed. So it doesn't concern us at all. And the rest of the title is fairly clean. And the other part of the title, this is for the common property. And again, you see the crowning right of British Columbia and inter alia. So again, it's nothing that I can say that it's nothing worthy of a specific attention that you have to dig into further. So generally, I feel comfortable with the title. So we go to the PDS. This is a property disclosure statement. So these are the questions that have been asked by the previous owners to tell them about the efficiencies and the problems in the unit. As you review this thing, there is no particular point of concern. There is only no rentals allowed, which you already know that there are no rentals allowed in this complex. And the maintenance fee is $357.25. And again, you can review these questions at your leisure. So these are the initials by the owners, and these are the questions that were answered to the best of knowledge of the owners. I didn't find anything particularly alarming in the PDS that I want to bring to your attention, but for sure review this thing carefully yourself. The other one is the floor plan. So it's basically saying on the main floor you have 913 square feet. In the upper floor you have 840 square feet. The total square footage is 1,753 square feet. So that's the layout of the floor plan, which you have already, I'm sure you have already seen it, and as well as viewing the property. The other one is the Strata lot 24. You remember I was talking to the Strata lot 24 here. I was saying that like a property has three types of addresses. So this is the civic address. When you are inviting a guest over, you give this address. The other one is PID address. You use it sometimes for the websites that accept PID as identifying this address. So instead of typing this, you just give PID and the software knows which property you're talking about. The third way talking about the property is legal description. So basically your complex, the way that like City Hall identifies your complex is as LMS 1559. So that's the identity of your complex, the entire complex. And your unit inside the complex is unit number 24. So it is not B33. So because the way that they assign this strata lot number, the developer starts from the first unit that they are creating, is calling it strata lot number 1. The next one is strata lot number 2, 3, 4. So this is the way that they basically use the number system till they reach to the end of the total number of the strata lots in a complex. So in that sequence, you are strata lot number 24. So if you look at the strata lot number 24, by the way, I got this one from the strata plan. So if I want to show you what the strata plan look like, it is among the documents that you have already viewed or at least received. So this is the entire strata plan for the entire complex. So this is B1, B2, and basically the way that the complex has been identified. So then you go here, we are looking for a strata lot number 24. So, and if I bring it here, yes, this is strata lot number 24. This is the lot number. So again, if you go through these things page by page, I just wanted to do it quicker, but here, if you come here, this is strata lot number 1 to 17. Then you come down. This is strata lot number 24. So strata lot number 24 has the unit entitlement as 15. This is an important number that you have to remember. So basically, this is proportional to the square footage of the unit. So your total share of the entire complex is proportional of your entire square footage to the entire square footage of the complex of the finished area. So your square footage is 15. Not that you're 15 square feet, is the proportionality divided by 338. So your shares of the cost is 4.44%. So in other words, if there is a special levy, a cost shows up for your complex to fix something in your complex and the cost is $100,000, your share would be $4,440 roughly to pay for that cost. So that's a good indication that you basically know what is your share compared to the other people who are owning a unit in the complex. So this is strata lot number 24. This is the engineering drawing of your building. So it is different than the floor plan that actually shows room by room, but this shows the entire townhouse. So the total area of your townhouse is 197.6 square meter. This is based on the SI, not American system. So if you convert it, it's going to be 2,127 square feet, which is different than the number that you have here, which is 1,753. The reason for that difference is that because here they are calculating even the square footage of the garage, and they added to the total square meter or square footage. But in real estate, when we are selling a property, we do not add garage to the total square footage. That's why the square footage that's being advertised is less than this number. But the entire square footage that you have control over, including garage, is 2,127. So basically, in this drawing, the most important thing is verifying this square footage and also your unit entitlement, which is about 4.44%. So that's the moral of the story from reviewing this document. The other document is Form B. In Form B, again, it is confirming that your maintenance fee is $375.11. It says that there is an agreement between the current owner and the Strata, probably possible high energy furnace, but no indemnity agreement on file. Usually this item means that sometimes, for instance, if you're living in an apartment and the Strata says that you cannot, you can only use carpet in the bedrooms, and you go ahead and you decide with the Strata's permission to convert it to hardwood floor with the proper installation. And then later on, when they give you that permission, they ask you to sign a paper that if the neighbor below, if ever they are being upset justifiably, then you have to revert it back to the original shape. So basically, and that's the indemnity agreement. And also they say that they save the Strata harmless against any future claims. So basically they're saying that the previous owner or the current owner wanted to do something, probably installing a high energy furnace, and the Strata wanted to say, yes, you can do it, but if something goes wrong, don't hold us responsible, something to that effect. But anyways, there was no indemnity agreement on file, so I don't know honestly what was the purpose of this thing, because if there is no document on file, but anyways, they just wanted to inform you that such an agreement sometime in the past existed. The other item is that amount in the contingency reserve fund, which is around $95,000. This is the basically savings of the Strata that has for the non-operating expenses. And operating expenses are the costs for electricity of the gas of the entire complex, not electricity for your own unit. So for snow removal, for the insurance for the entire complex, etc., those are operating expenses. The contingency reserve fund is the money that we use for instance, if they want to replace the roofs in the entire complex or something like that in terms of the common property. So it is not day-to-day expenses, it's once in a blue moon. And for that, they have about $95,000 in the savings. So the question is that, is $95,000 enough or it's not enough? And if you look at the total units in the Strata, you have about 39 units. So the question is that for 39 units, is this $95,000 is enough or not? The way that we look at it, we divide this number by total operating expenses. So it takes about $180,000 per year to basically run your Strata. So the saving of $95,000 divided by $180,000 is going to be about 52 or 50% of the 50%. So usually the bare minimum is about 25%. So when we go to 50%, it is very, very healthy contingency reserve fund. So the moral of the story is that this number for your Strata seems to be adequate. And when a previous owner sells the unit, this money is going to stay. They cannot say that give us 4.44% of this money because we are selling and we are leaving. No, the money that's in the contingency reserve fund will stay there, and you are going to inherit that money. The same way when you're selling this townhouse sometime in the future, you cannot have any claim against that 4.44% and say this is my share, give it to me because I'm selling. Whatever money is in that contingency reserve fund at the time of your sale has to stay there. And then there are no rentals allowed, as you know, and also the garage for the parking is the garage, and there are no separate lockers. And so that's basically, so that's the Form B, and it was dated March 21st, 2022, which is fairly recent. So that's the review of Form B. The insurance document is another important document. So basically saying that if there is a leak or anything happening in your Strata, your deductible is about $25,000. And as you can see, this document is valid till February 1st, 2023. So again, each year it has to be renewed. And so right now it is about 20. So if there is a leak in your Strata, in your unit, and causing damages, assuming that it is not deliberate, it's like any other kind of insurance, it's just it happened. You were, for instance, in a trip, and then washer dryer hose just burst and the water flooded your unit, something like that. So then up to $25,000 is your deductible. It has, if it is, the damage is less than $25,000, you have to be entirely paying from your pocket. If it is more than $25,000, the remaining is going to be paid by the Strata insurance, by this insurance, by BFL Canada. So some people find that $25,000 is too much. So you can go to talk to your insurance agent. Again, this is entirely optional. You don't have to, because the Strata already has insurance. But you can just go to your insurance agent and say that, hey, the $25,000 deductible is too much. So they can sell you an insurance for this $25,000. So something happens, instead of $25,000, your deductible will be reduced to, say, $500. I'm just throwing numbers as an example. But if, in order to do that, the insurance company may want you to pay $600 per year to them. So they say, give us $600 per year, for instance, and if something happens, instead of $25,000, your deductible would be $500. So this is entirely optional. If you wish to do it, just talk to your insurance agent and explore the options. You need a copy of this document, and you need a copy of the feature sheet, which I already sent you, and a copy of your accepted offer to show the completion date. So usually you purchase the insurance as of the date of completion, whether it's going to be the way it is, like end of May, or whether it's any other date if we change it. So you put it as of completion date. The other document that I wanted to explain to you is the AGM. This is annual general meeting. It's a meeting that's being held in the Stratas once in a year. I highly recommend you to attend these meetings. And if necessary, or if you have time, you can even nominate yourself to become a Strata Council member. So the meetings usually is taking place around November, because last year it was happening November 22nd, 2021. So the chances are that this year is going to be around the same. Usually they are holding these meetings at the same time every year. So if there is a special levy, if major costs or anything happens, this is the most important meeting. So during these things, they talk about expenses or improvements doing the Strata. For the last AGM, it was a little bit uneventful. Basically, they were saying that they don't want to spend money. It's usually costing about $8,000 to $10,000 to do a depreciation report, which is an engineering of the entire complex. And everybody agreed. So 23 people said we don't want, because they didn't want to spend money on an engineering company and that $8,000 to $10,000 to do it. So they said we don't want to do it. And there is no other particular significant item that I can mention. And if you look at it here again, remember that in Form B I was talking about the $180,000. I got it from here. So that's the total operating expense, that $180,000 is coming from the AGM. And then for the Strata, in total you have 39 Strata lots, and your unit is number 24, Strata lot number 30, sorry, I believe I may have made a mistake in this one, sorry. I have to correct it. I got the unit number and the Strata lot mixed up. So your Strata lot number is number 24. So you're actually basically on this one. Sorry for the confusion. So that's the one. So you are Strata lot number 24, which is unit number 33. Unit number 33, Strata lot number 24. I highlighted the wrong item. And so for this one, your maintenance fee, the new fee is $375.11. This number is matching exactly the number of Form B, which is $375.11. And I believe incidentally it should be the same number in the PDS. This number doesn't match the number on the PDS, so the number that is more reliable is the one on the Form B. So you can ignore the $357.25 that the owner said, or yes, so these two numbers are incorrect. The number that you can rely on is the number in the Form B, $375.11, which is the same number in the basically in the AGM. So that concludes my review of the Strata documents. I just wanted to give you all the information which I gathered while reviewing the Strata documents. Of course, your offer was subject free, so even though you had access to Strata documents, I'm not sure how much time you had to go through them. But in any event, even though it is after the fact, I thought it would be useful if I give you a summary of your unit and what's happening in the Strata. Thank you, and have a lovely day. Cheers, bye.